is said that existence cannot portray a reality that is not real, living in a dimension within dimensions of a reality far beyond human understanding. It is time that we seek truth. It is time that we seek answers and speak to those beyond the realms of this dimension.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to NakedEyeBlind Paranormal. My name is Jonathan Vargas. I am a paranormal investigator specializing in inter-trans communication, which is the practice of collecting evidence from beings/entities of an unknown and still misunderstood origin of existence via the use of audio instruments in which these entities are able to then manipulate and communicate, replying at times directly to my questions. The device I am using during these sessions is called the PSB-7 Spirit Box, which is an AM/FM sweep radio that scans through multiple channel frequencies at a certain rate of controlled speed. The entities then somehow speak through these channels, as if manipulating the audio, speaking sometimes in between and throughout the channel sweeping process. During these sessions, I was also able to collect a few EVPs captured by the recording audio on my camera not coming from the PSB-7 Spirit Box. I had a few pretty interesting PSB-7 sessions a couple months ago, and there was a lot going on in terms of evidence, and it has taken me quite some time to finish analyzing everything. There was just so much to go through, and the evidence I obtained during these sessions are unlike anything I have ever captured before. So I decided to make a video and try my best to analyze what these entities are saying and share with you something I believe is truly groundbreaking in terms of evidence. Be sure to listen closely and prepare to become a witness to the paranormal, because what you are about to hear is 100% real. So as you guys can see here, the entities communicating through the PSB-7 Spirit Box are speaking through the AM/FM radio's channel frequency sweeping process. Here is an example of the sweeping process without any communications. So now that we have that out of the way, back to the interesting stuff. It sounds like the entity speaking may be in the middle of some sort of situation or struggle that isn't really entirely clear. First you will hear what sounds like a female entity say "hey," followed by an EVP recorded that doesn't seem to be coming from the radio, almost as if whispering the words, "watch out." Followed by what I could only assume is the same female entity saying "get off me." Then followed by a "please get off." Shortly after that, a voice comes through saying the word "weapon." What the meaning of the word weapon was, or to be more clear, what the weapon is, just adds to the mysterious nature of these particular beings or entities, and what it is that is happening exactly in their current plane of existence. Could a particular entity be in danger? Is the being in danger the female begging for something to get off of her? Could this be the female entity that has contacted me just days before these sessions were recorded? A few days ago, before I recorded these sessions, I was recording a short video during a session on a live chat for some Patreon supporters. And during this short recording, a female entity by the name Amy came through asking for my help. This is the reason why I decided to record these few sessions, because when analyzing the message Amy was trying to give me, I realized something must be wrong, and maybe I can do something to help her. But who is she? Who is Amy? As you have heard, Amy was asking for my help to kill a demon, and a deeper voice repeats the word demon. And then Amy tells me it's just her, Amy. And before she tells me her name, you can hear a voice say her name just before she completes her sentence. Other than the fact that Amy has appeared in almost all my sessions, I do not personally know an Amy. I am only familiar with one who regularly communicates with me via the PSB-7. I am still not entirely sure who Amy is, but the message she relayed to me here asking for my help has given me the idea that perhaps Amy believes I can help her. Later in this video, you will see something bizarre happen as I say a prayer that I created myself years ago that I never thought to use before, and then things take a huge turn, as it seems to have somehow worked. At least I hope so for the sake of Amy, whoever she may be. Let's continue.
Anybody here? Amy, are you here?
This particular entity can be heard answering my question at the same time I ask, is anybody here, by replying, I'm right here.
Anybody here? Anybody here? Anybody here?
How did this entity respond so quickly? Could this indicate that maybe the fabric of space and time in which these entities exist is a few seconds ahead of our own? If that is the case, how is it possible? Could they have the ability to read our minds, perhaps? Or are these beings somehow communicating from the future? This isn't the only example of this. In fact, you will see a few more examples of this throughout this video. Shortly after that, you will hear what sounds like a female entity say, I'm here, John. Which is proof that the communication is intelligent, responding directly to my question and even saying my name. Then a male entity comes through saying the word deflected, which I'm not very sure what the entity may be referring to exactly, since there's still a lot to learn about their nature. Then you will hear another entity asking the question, what is that? Which may be that the entity is curious as to what I am using to communicate with them. You will hear the same question asked a few more times during this video. Then I ask for Amy, and you can hear what sounds like Amy's name being said right behind my voice when I say Amy.
Amy, Amy, Amy.
And after that I ask, are you here, Amy? And you can hear this strange sound pattern at the same time I ask the question.
Are you here? Are you here? Are you here?
I've noticed that pattern to be very common in my investigations. Some entities even communicate using this pattern almost as if in syllables of 5. You will see more examples of this throughout the video. After, you will hear a voice say it did not come through. Could this be relating to my question to Amy? And notice how the sentence was completed but in different tones. Or could this be some sort of distortion in communication? It really makes you wonder if any of these voices coming from the radio are even the actual voices of the sources creating them and communicating with us, or if it's all just audio manipulation. I will talk more about this in another video. Again, could this be relating to Amy? I'm not entirely sure, but the words are interesting. It may be a clue to something happening that we cannot see. While I do get a lot of these types of words and sentences that raise many questions as to what could be happening, and at times in between them some EVPs, it's these pieces of evidence that push me to continue my research, and hopefully one day we can begin to understand more about these messages and what they mean.
Is anybody here? Can you hear me?
Next, you will hear me ask, is anybody here? Followed by, can you hear me? And a faint EVP was captured saying what sounds like, I can, almost as if speaking over me, which relates to my comment before about time and space.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Right after this, you can hear what sounds like an otherworldly voice come through saying, hello, John. After that, a voice comes through that sounds like it's saying the word careful, followed by a female's voice saying, you're mine. Followed by a taken. Then followed by what sounds like mandic. Although I really don't know what the context or the meaning of the word mandic is. I researched the word on Google, Wikipedia, and the highlighted was all I could find. Then you hear a voice that sounds like it's saying help, followed by what sounds like a female's voice saying, I've got him, followed by an EVP of what sounds like a strange whistle. Then another female voice can be heard saying my name. And another female voice asking, where do you come from? Followed by another female's voice saying my name. Then another entity comes through saying, I'm E. Followed by another entity asking, how did it happen? Followed by another entity replying, my friend, and another entity replies as if asking the question again. Then another voice comes through saying what sounds like, I found you. Then another voice comes through saying what I think is, you did not speak English, followed by what I believe is the same entity saying, I am evil. If you think what you've heard so far seemed a bit crazy, the following is where I attempt to use a prayer I wrote years ago. It was never meant to be a prayer initially when I wrote it, but throughout the years, growing and learning more about this type of research, something within me decided, why don't I give this a try and say these words and see how these entities react to the words I have written. So I lit an incense and waved it around the PSB-7 Spirit Box while saying what I had written as if in a prayer-like state of mind. And this is what happened.
Can anybody hear me?
I don't really feel the need to narrate these specific responses because they are very clear, but I'm going to analyze them anyway because this is what I do. Okay, so first you're going to hear a male voice that comes through saying, please. Then you will hear a female voice come through saying, oh my god, I feel so good. Followed by another creepy voice saying, demon. Followed by a female voice saying, hey love. Followed by a voice almost as if singing, saying they love you. and soon after that a male's voice saying, "I feel awake." And after that, another curious voice asking, "What is that?" followed by what sounds like him. Then what sounds like the same voice from before asking, "How'd you do that?" Followed by another voice saying, "It was good though," followed by what sounds like either reporting or recording. I'm not sure. Then another voice comes through saying, "Feel good." And after that, a female voice comes through saying, "I'm happy, happy." Then I ask, "Can anybody hear me?" And you can hear a male voice say, "Yeah."
Anybody hear me? Anybody hear me? Anybody hear me?
Followed by another male voice saying, "That was good." Based on the replies, did my prayer actually work? I'm not sure. You guys be the judge. And please feel free to leave your opinions and comments on the comment section below. So I continue on with the session, keeping my incense lit, and the entities continue to speak.
That was weird.
An EVP comes through, though not so clear. Then a female entity can be heard saying, "Leave this call." Followed by another female entity saying, "I love this time." Followed by what sounds like another female entity asking the question, "What is that?" Followed by another voice that I can't quite make out. Then a voice of a male comes through saying, "You will die in the river." Then another voice comes through saying what sounds like, "I love you." Then another female voice comes through saying the words, "I'm running out of time." Followed by a male voice saying, "Hello." And another voice as if celebrating saying, "Woo, that was good." Then another voice comes through again that I can't quite understand. I think it's a female, I'm not sure. Followed by a male voice saying, "He will get you." And right after that, another voice yelling, "Yeah." Then another female voice struggling to come through. Followed by another female voice asking, almost as if struggling, saying, "Hello, can you hear me?" followed by another entity replying, yeah, we can, followed by a voice saying, yeah, 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 followed by another entity saying, yeah, yeah. Followed by an entity saying hello. Then followed by an EVP saying he's mine, right before I say, that was weird.
That was a weird. That was a weird. That was a weird.
As you can see here, for example, some of these entities are speaking through the channel sweeping process, and there are many examples of this in this video, so I'm pretty sure we can disprove the fact that with the evidence I have already presented, what we are picking up isn't coming from a radio station. It's coming directly from a source not in our dimension. Let's continue on to the next session.
Do you like the smell of the incense? Can you smell the incense?
So I ask, do you like the smell of the incense? And an EVP comes through saying what sounds like the words worked out.
Do you like the smell of the incense? Do you like the smell of the incense? Do you like the smell of the incense?
Then I ask, can you smell the incense? And a creepy voice comes through very clearly saying, yes, I can.
Can you smell the incense? Can you smell the incense? Can you smell the incense?
Then another voice comes through saying, to be quite honest with you, Jonathan. Followed by a female voice saying, try and make me stop. Followed by a sound pattern you will hear repeated later in the video. Followed by what sounds like a male voice saying the words, I'm lonely. Followed by another voice saying my name, followed by a voice I can't quite make out, followed by another voice I can't quite make out. Followed by a female saying hello. Followed by what sounds like a creepy voice asking, you think you can beat me? Followed by another male voice saying, who said that? Followed by another voice saying, look out. Followed by another voice asking, are you my son? Followed by another voice saying, hello John, I need you. Followed by another voice I can't quite make out. followed by what sounds like a robotic voice saying almost there. Followed by a song manipulated to drag out through multiple sweeps saying, "He left down below." Followed by what sounds like another female's voice saying, "John, bring me back." Part of deciphering these messages involves having to slow down the audio and listening very closely because there's a lot you can end up missing. Nothing has been altered in any way other than slowing down the audio. You can find a link to the raw, unedited video of this entire session in the description below so that you can see how I came up with these conclusions. This isn't easy work. It really takes a lot of time to decipher these messages. You may even hear something entirely different than I did, or maybe even find something that I missed. So be sure to watch the raw, unedited video in the description below and comment on what you hear. The following is the last part of the session. First, it will start with a voice I can't make out, followed by what sounds like sour pun, followed by another voice I can't make out, following that is a repeated pattern that I still haven't figured out the meaning of yet that was recorded earlier in the video. Here is an example of that. After this, a voice comes through as if asking who stabbed him. And a voice comes through afterwards which sounds like he is there, which I'm not sure if it was an EVP or coming from the spirit box. The next piece of audio I don't want to repeat out of respect for my current partner. However, as you can hear, this female comes through saying the following. Following that, you will hear a female come through saying, "Really?" Followed by another female's voice saying, "Only you." And after that, a voice comes through saying what sounds like, "You will not prevail." And finally, for the last two captures in this video, you will hear what sounds like, "Hey," and then ending with, "Hello, John." Now, based on everything that I have captured in terms of evidence, there's no denying that I am indeed communicating with intelligent beings speaking through the PSB-7 Spirit Box. I would also like to point out that my apartment at the time of this recording was not haunted, and even as I performed many sessions here, no paranormal activity has ever occurred, which proves that the location doesn't necessarily have to be haunted. If you open a session and the entities near you realize that they can actually speak using the devices that are present, it doesn't matter where you are. If they are interested, they will speak. I also cannot prove that we are speaking to spirits of human beings that have died, and perhaps we are, but the possibilities of these entities being interdimensional and even otherworldly cannot be forgotten. I am going to be making a video breaking all this down in the future, and there is so much more evidence I have collected that I want to share with you. But for now, I would just like to say thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my evidence review analysis. Thank you. Until next time.